Okay, good morning, fifth graders. Welcome to your Chapter 7 math test. It's Thursday. Hi to all the kids that are at home for the first 2 days now, Cohort A and Cohort B right here at school. So let's take a look at this video. It's important that you watch the video first because I'm going to give you some clues on the test. We're going to start out by setting up our proof paper. And then following our proof paper, I'm going to go through one area model problem, a 4-box area model problem, quickly to remind you how to do that since we haven't done those in a couple of days. There's one of those on the test. And then we're also going to go through the test. Like I'm going to go through each problem, just kind of give you an overview, and then you guys can get started, okay? The really, really important part is the proof paper to make sure that you label it like I'm going to show you. You set it up with me, and that you show your work on every problem. Even the ones that you think you can just look at and go, oh, I know that one. Do not write the problem part, the math part, like the numbers, and then go ahead and work it out or put in the answer so that you have an answer for everyone, because that's how you're going to get your extra 2 points. And that's really what kept a lot of people's grades really high. Those 2 extra points really make a difference when there's not that many questions, okay? All right, so let's start out. Let me jump over to my camera so that we can set up our proof paper, okay? All right, so proof paper for the Chapter 7 test is going to be pretty simple because all you're going to write on the top is Chapter 7 test. Then make sure you put today's date if today is the day you're starting the test. Then, of course, your name. You probably could have put your name over the date, but you get what I'm saying. Now, you can put a number 1, but you don't want to put any more problems. And if you remember why we don't number the whole thing, is because sometimes we're going to need more room. So maybe number 1 takes up all this space and you had already written number 2 here, then it won't work, okay? All right, let's take a look at a 2-box area model problem as an example. If you want to do this with me on the back of your proof paper, you can, because then you have a sample right there that might help you with the 1 2-box area model that there is on the test. So make it nice and big. Remember, you can use more than one piece of proof paper. This would be a 4-box area model. So look, we have 2 1/3 times 5 1/3. And as Mr. Mannerfeld has taught you, I like to fill in each of the 4 boxes first and then do the math, okay? So what's meeting here? 5 times 2. What's meeting here? 5 times 1/3. What meets here? Look at what's coming over. 1/3 times 2, because that's coming down. And then here we have 1/3 times 1/3. All right? Now let's fill in each of our boxes and circle our final answer. 5 times 2 is 10. I like that. Okay, let's put this over 1. It is repeated adding, but we can also put it over 1 and multiply straight across to get 5/3. Now here's the key, 5th graders. If the top is bigger than the bottom, we need to divide. What's 5 divided by 3 is 1, right? Because how many 3's go into 5? 1. You'd have 2 left over, so 1 2/3. Okay, we're going to need that when we add over here. Again, we have repeated adding, or you could put it over 1. I'm going to put it over 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. So we get 2/3. And then the last one, going to multiply straight across, right? Fraction times a fraction is 1/9. Now we have our 4 numbers. We're going to add them up over the side with stacking. So I have 10. I like to do my whole numbers first. This one has a whole number, so I do 1 2/3. Here we have 2/3. And here we have 1/9. Now, when it's time to add, remember we cannot add these because they have different denominators. So what denominators do we have? We have 3, 3, 9. Well, where are 3 and 9 going to meet? 3, 6, 9. They're going to meet at 9. So let's do our fraction bars. I have cherry today. Let's do cherry fraction bar, cherry fraction bar, cherry fraction bar. 9 is our common denominator. This is from the last chapter. We stack it up. Put in all of our x's. How many 9's go into 9? 1. How many 3's go into 9? 3. How many 3's go into 9? 3 again. And now we're ready to add. Now we're going to add all this. So what are our new numbers? 10 plus 1 6/9 plus 6/9 plus 1/9. What does all that equal? Let's see. 10, 11 are my whole numbers. The denominator will stay the same, 9, right? That just goes straight across, 9. And then 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, 13/9. Now we're almost there. Some kids are going, man, this is a big problem. Yeah, there's only one on the test. It's worth trying, though. This is kind of a combination of everything you've learned in this chapter. That's why I do like these. So remember, the top is bigger than the bottom. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So 13 divided by 9. How many 9s go into 13? 1, right? That would get you 9. And then we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 left over, or 4/9. So this part right here, the 13/9 becomes 1 4/9. But don't forget, you had the 11 too. So what's your final answer? 12, right? 11 plus 1 is 12, and 4/9. All right, so now that you have your proof paper set up, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the actual test, all right? So I'm going to X out of this, pull this back up. All right, so you find your chapter test in your Google Classroom. Then you're going to want to go to classwork. It is Thursday, March 18th. Now, Miss Lindsay and Miss Smith have theirs set up a little bit different, but you'll find it. It literally says Chapter 7 test. So you click it. Go ahead and open the Chapter 7 test. All right, let's take a look at each problem really quick, okay? So number 1, you guys have done this. It says, which picture represents 4 times 2/3? Ignore this box. But which one of these is 4 2/3? So if you remember in all of the work that we've done to get ready for this, I've always said draw it. Go ahead without even looking at the choices. I know you can't see, but I'm covering those up. Just draw 4 times 2/3. Draw that. And then once you draw it, you're going to see which picture matches. I wouldn't just look at the picture. I've had a lot of kids get this problem wrong before, and you shouldn't. Everybody that I've seen knows how to draw that.
Gabino, can you please head down to 503? Gabino, please head down to 503. Thank you.
Very loud. Okay. Anyway, a lot of kids get this wrong because they just try, and this is part of showing your work on your proof paper too. It's not okay just to like pick it and go, oh, I think it's this one, or I think it's this one, and mark it and go on. You're not going to get your 2 extra points. So just do this. 4 times 2/3, draw it on your paper, then see if the answer is there. That's good test taking, okay? Here's the second problem, right? 1/4 of B, of A, I'm sorry. There's A, 1/4 of A. You guys know how to do that one. What kind of problem is 5 1/3 times 4? You know what kind of problem it is? Okay, let's go to this one. All right, when you get to number 4 here, this is where I'm saying do not just write yes or no and try to do this in your head. That is lazy math, and then you're going to get more wrong just by doing that. Instead, cover up the yes and no, don't care about it, and do 11 times 1/2. Like literally you on your paper do 11 times 1/2. See what you get. And then once you get your answer, compare it to that. If you get the same thing, then of course you put a yes on your, but I should see your problem worked out and yes or no. So Miss Lindsay and Miss Smith, you can make sure they're doing that. If kids at home, just do it. So then you have 5 times 1/2. Again, don't look at this. That's going to trick you and just put yes or no. Actually do 5 times 1/2. That's repeated adding. Or put it over 1 and multiply straight across. Do the problem, see if that's what you get. This one and this one are the same, okay? So for each of these, I expect to see the problem worked out with an answer, and then you can put yes or no. Okay, how many tiles? You should recognize that problem. This one is interesting. Look at, I'm just going to say this. This is a very big word problem. A lot of words, a lot of A's and B's and confusing. It's not hard though, because look what it says. Which one of these, if you took 8 and multiplied, which one of these would make Jose have more? So which one, if you multiplied, would make the number bigger? That's what it's asking. If you multiply 8 by 3/4, is the number going to get bigger? How about 1/20? How about 2.5 or 1/2? You can either do all the math and see, or you should know what happens when you multiply by a fraction. Okay, now this one you've recognized. This problem right here looks like they just split it up. It looks like, give me a second to find it. Remember doing so many of these? These right here? Remember where you do 7 times, 7 times, 7 times? We've practiced this a lot. This is the same thing. So it says 5 times which one of these is going to make this side smaller. How do you make this side smaller? You multiply by, how about this one? How do you keep it equal? Again, don't just click ABC. And it's nice that it only gives you 3 choices. Write 5 times, and then you write which one of these you think it is, and make sure it actually works. Okay? 5 times what? Which one of these is going to equal 5? It should have popped right in your head. Some of you are going to be like, I already know, and you already know the letter. Great. But actually write it out. Write which letter, not which letter, but which of these will work right here, and then make sure, okay? That's showing your work. Same thing here. 5 times what will make it bigger? How do you make this side bigger? Which one of these 3 would make it bigger? Number 11, just do your best. You have to really think through that one. There's your 4-box area model, like we just practiced. And then there's a question at the end, okay? Good luck to you guys. You do know your math. Really work out each problem. Take your time. Every time that we've done an actual math test, you've taken your time and you've shown up. And actually, you've scored great this year, almost as well as if you were actually in school. So I know that you can do a great job. Just take your time. You can always email me if you have any questions, and good luck.